All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. All right. So you heard that. That's how it works. So if you are in the listening audience and you're in West Michigan, you seriously got to call this dumb Mexican. 616-516-8579. Call him or text him. I actually want you to just text him and say racist shit. 616-516-8579 to sign up for Joe giving you a free tune-up and diagnostics of your furnace. That's valued at $145? Or if you like, you can just get the $79 tune-up. But if you want it, but that doesn't make sense. You would want to get the $145. Tell you what, if Joe's already given you the free one in the last year or two, then just get the tune-up for $79 or the tune-up and diagnostics for $145. That's what I do every year. Because with the $145, like he said, that gives you some advantages. If things go south, he's just going to show up and fix it, and you're not going to get the after-hours charge if you happen to be calling him in the middle of the night. So I just usually pay the $145. But if you're a new customer, or at least in the last 2 years, you can get this for free. So I'm telling you that you got to reach out to Joe at 616-516-8579. Joe Martinez says Texas and Oregon are loaded this year. And Michigan's not cheating anymore, so they probably won't even win any games. I think they're probably going to lose all their games, Michigan. And I actually hope that they do, because Michigan fans, how can I put this lightly, are retarded. Okay? All right. I mentioned that it seems like the NFK is about to snap. That's Joe Martinez writes, bet we are Michigan. Sharon's, we are Michigan. Sharon's busting some nuts. We are going to win all the games, senor. I love going to the Huge Show page and raising hell, because Bill is the biggest honk on the planet, and he'll make some dumbass statement about Michigan, and I will say something mean about Michigan, and all of his degenerate audience members who love Michigan, like, they attack me. I don't even have any idea what I'm doing. I'm just trolling, but they're also intensely dumb that they flip out. Yeah, well, you got fired. Yeah, rent free. Don't you got anything better to do? You're washed up. You're washed up, easy. I wish I was washed up. Then I wouldn't have to do fucking radio all the goddamn time. God damn. We haven't even started to go down the road of Joe Martinez pissing me off and Lions fans off because he thinks the Lions suck dick. They had such a memorable year last year and went so far into the playoffs. This year, it's Super Bowl or bust. I'm just trying to get an idea of what could he possibly say about that team if they win the Super Bowl. Like, what is there to possibly say if they win the Super Bowl? Today, the NFK is about to snap. And Darla, who is sound asleep right now, and her little paws are running back and forth. She was downstairs, and my song was ending on Q100. And she had been like up and down, and she wanted to go out. She wanted to come in. She was being a real pain in the ass. I'm like, oh, God, I got to take her out again. Okay, great. So I take her out again. She stays downstairs. I come up here, and unfortunately, I hear barking. She's barking at the cat. And I'm like, ugh. No. I don't like it when she's barking, but I can live with it. But the NFK can't stand it. And when I hear her downstairs barking, and I have 1 minute left in my song, and then I have to talk, I cannot go down and get her. So she's just barking at the cat. The cat is on the other side of this banister, and the dog can't get to the cat. So the cat is just looking at the dog and taunting the dog. The dog is barking at the cat, and the NFK is fucking flipping out. And I'm like, ah. Now, when I know, this is why I say to Diana, I go, if there's anything wrong in the world, don't mention it around him. This has happened twice with her. The cell phone incident and the cat drink well incident. Just don't indicate that there is anything problematic in or it'll upset the homeostasis of his brain in a weird way. He's going to start flapping his arms, freaking out, getting paper towels and sticking them in the ottoman. Jesus Christ, we can't have this. So sure enough time passes that I fully expected to go down there and find 2 or 3 knives buried in the dog's back. And he's like, she's just yipping, all she's doing is just yipping, goddamn motherfucker, she just yipping, she never shut up. I'm like, I know, man, it's a dog. That's what dogs do. Did you not watch Tom and Jerry? Now, okay, you got Darla is the dog, and the bulldog, and Tom and Jerry. And then this is Tom, the cat. The bulldog wants to kick Tom's ass. That's what we got here. You know that this is happening. Get Darla, bring her upstairs. Unbelievable. Aram made a comment earlier. He said, Eric has always taken care of the NFK. Remember when he called the NFK on the air and told him to go to the doctor for a problem that the NFK was having? Oh, my God. That was with his testicle. The idea that between Diana and her brother and her mother and her father, when they have medical issues, the way the 4 of these handle this is very simply ignore it. It was like that for every member of the family, and it killed 3 people. All 3 of those could have been avoided. They could have lived longer lives if they had just gone to the doctor when they were supposed to. I'm not even kidding. And if it were not for Diana, when he moved in here, she said, okay, stay as long as you like. But the only catch is your medical, you need to go to the doctor. And Eric here will guide you through all this. See you later. And then I started this long process of trying to get him repaired. And that was spinal surgery, the cirrhosis diagnosis, getting him to stop drinking, which he's been very good about. His life has been saved. But what the fuck was I talking about? What the fuck? I was just going to tell a story. Shit. Oh, his testicle. Oh, God damn. Something happened at his job at the time. This is probably 15 years ago. And it caused a hernia. So this was the type of hernia. Sometimes you'll have a hernia that'll actually come through the front of your abdominal wall. And then the doc has to go in and poke it, cut you, poke it through, sew you all up, and then you recover. Okay? This one, though, was called an inguinal hernia. You have a spot, men do, called the inguinal canal. And it's an opening. All right? But I think there's kind of like a membrane there. And but above it is your small intestine, and below it is your ball sack with your testicles in it. I think I'm getting the anatomy right here. Well, if things go wrong, you can get an inguinal hernia, which means your small intestine is going to go through that opening. And if you don't get it checked, more and more of your small intestine is going to fill your ball sack. That is precisely what happened to him. Okay? So he has over time, quite a fair amount of his small intestine is in his scrotum, which means if he eats a fucking BLT sub from Subway, that sub is, when it's being digested, is going to go through his ball sack at one point. So the food down his throat, into his tummy, small intestine, and then large intestine, shit it out. His food goes through his balls. That's happened. And it was like for a lot of time. And I don't know if he had like an entire BMT sandwich in there or something, but the ball was so big that it was sticking out. Like you could see it through his pants. It was the size of like a WNBA basketball. No, it wasn't quite that big. It was it was a softball. It was the size of a softball or a grapefruit. And unbelievable. Corey says meatballs would actually be near his balls. It's so true. Maureen says that's got to be uncomfortable. And he would walk around, and in order to, because you could see it, and he knew it, when he would be in mixed company who doesn't know him, he would take his hand and put it in his pocket, like both hands, and forcibly push the pants out so that you couldn't see that there was. Okay, so watch. Got to do a Pat McAfee here. Okay, I'm going to take this coffee mug and put it in my pants. Imagine it looking like that. That's what it looked like. So then he would take his pants and go and like push them out so that you couldn't see. Okay, now there's a coffee mug in my pants, which I got to get it out now. Oh, fucking A. That's what's going on, or that's what was going on. So, I said to him, dude, we gotta fix this. You have to go to the doctor. Jesus Christ. All right. True story, by the way. Hang on. Yes, period. You can, period. However, I don't think I'll be able to be there for it, period. If you're okay with that, period. Also, comma, don't be alarmed, but there might be another guy. Hold on. It's a roofer. Yes, you absolutely can, period. Of course, I may not be there as I indicated, period. So I went with the roof doctor. At least I had the roof doctor inspect the roof. And then I went ahead and I got the cheddar for the roof. So I got roof doctor and I got the cheddar for the roof. And then you all said to me, hey, dumb fuck, you need more estimates. So Linda said, Easy, you need to call this guy. And I said, okay, I will. And then I went ahead and I was telling Doug over at Bosco's in between when he was saying horrible things about his employees. And he said, I got another guy for you. So I called that guy too. And so he's coming over. He should be even here right now. I don't even know. Go ahead and absolutely come and check it out. So I've got the 3 estimates now, and then I'm going to go. That's the smart thing to do. I don't know why I was so reluctant to do that, but I did that. Aram's talking about the time that I called the NFK to tell him about his balls. He says Eric called him, recorded the phone call, and then played the conversation on the air. The NFK was like, what? It's nothing. God bless Jeremy in Kalamazoo. He has just posted a new clip that I can play. Another out-of-context clip. I love these. If you are on the Twitch app enjoying the show, you just hit the little clapper thing, action, and you can clip my show. So if I say something fucked up, you can clip it, and then I can go ahead and post it. This one says, completely in context moment. EZ shows off a new trick he just learned. This is fantastic. So then he would take his pants and go and push them out so that you couldn't see. The volume's real low. Okay, now. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. There's always a few good ones on there. Whew. Stevie says, what did I just witness? Hey, friends, it's Joe Pal Easy with my latest and greatest marketing partner, Mint Mobile. I know a lot of you have been through the ringer when it comes to costs with big wireless. As you know, what you see is never what you get. You ever have that happen where you get in there and you're like, okay, they're like, you're going to get this, this, and this, and this, and then you pay us this. And you go, oh, yeah. And then, you get the bill and you're like, what the hell just happened? It's like bait and switch. And then you call in and you realize that you're screwed. So you're like, oh, my God, I might as well just keep overpaying for this. Never again. Enter Mint Mobile. You never have to worry about the gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month, when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. I've done this. You should too. Say bye-bye to the overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to the rescue with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. My God! To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Zane. mintmobile.com/Zane. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month and give the other guys the big heave-ho. mintmobile.com/Zane. All right, fine print time. $45 upfront payment required. That's equivalent to the $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower above 40 gigs on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay. I've told you folks many times that if you are a natural resources officer or something like that, or maybe a park ranger, if you're that type of, if you have that as a job, they have the ultimate authority. Last thing you want to do is harm the environment and have a Department of Natural Resources officer or a conservation officer or a park ranger find out about it? Well, that happened. And every so often you hear about people in our national parks who do something dumb. Okay? One of the places for some of the dumbest things to occur is any of the national parks that has like a hot spring, which some of those bodies of water are filled with just water, warm water, or acidic water, or sulfuric acid, or whatever the fuck, and can kill you. So they try to make it very clear. Don't go. People do it all the fucking time. Every year, somebody melts away in one of those things. Or in some cases, like in this story, they go to these spots in the U.S. where time and water has eroded the sandstone to make these incredible sculptures of sandstone. You're thinking like Zion National Park, Arches National Park, places like that in some areas of the Southwest Nevada. Well, these two guys were there, and they were destroying the park. So that comes up in this story right here. Let's get into this. Thank you to the doctor, Jim Barry, for sending this one along.
A little girl screams as two men push chunks of red stone off the edge of a formation at the federally protected site.
He's gonna fall. It takes millions of years for these rock formations to form.
I'm concerned with the audio in this. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Were you guys even able to hear that? What is going on? Can you explain to me on your end if you're able to hear that? Okay, Stevie says she heard it. I don't know why I thought that wasn't working, but I guess it was. Okay, my apologies.
A little girl screams as two men push chunks of red stone off the edge of a formation at the federally protected site.
He's gonna fall. It takes millions of years for these rock formations to form, and then you get a few idiots out there that are destroying all that work of nature. It's pretty appalling. It's kind of disgusting.
Okay, now this is the guy that I'm talking about. This is the guy that you definitely don't want to piss him off. This dude. He takes his shit so seriously. So these people are pushing the rocks over, and the kid's like, oh, my God.
It happened Sunday evening at 5:45 p.m. at Redstone Dunes, one of the most popular hiking trails at Lake Mead.
Why would you even do something like this? Like why on earth would you do this to this area that's so beautiful? It's one of my favorite places in the park.
Okay, so I don't want anybody to push anything over or destroy anything in the national parks. I love the national parks. But seeing this guy being so extremely affected by this for some reason makes me laugh.
And they're up there just destroying it. I don't understand that.
Lake Mead National
Well, that's what young idiots do, okay? They wreck shit.
Recreation area is massive. A lot of park to patrol.
It's 1.5 million acres. We have two big lakes, a chunk of the Colorado River. It gets pretty difficult based on our staff levels to be everywhere all at once.
John Haynes, Public Information Officer for Lake Mead National Recreation Area, says with 6 million visitors each year, they rely on the public.
I'm not going to get into any more about the story, but these two guys are now in deep shit. Kenny says, I wonder if he yells at kids for skipping rocks on lakes. That's what I'm thinking. Aram says, don't mess with the Natural Resource Corps. Stevie says the library guy was more upset than this guy. I remember him. Kenny says, put those rocks back exactly where you found them. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with skipping the rocks. I think you get into trouble when you push over the rock formation. That's when I think you're going to get into trouble. But these guys are in deep shit. These two guys from Henderson, Nevada, have been indicted and are set to face trial for allegedly damaging ancient rock formations at Lake Mead. You know, what's crazy is you get some rich guy will embezzle $50 million and gets away with it somehow, even though there's a paper trail a mile long. And yet 2 guys push over a couple rocks and they're going to be locked up for decades. The 2 guys were arraigned Friday. Both men pleaded not guilty to 1 count of injury or depreciation or depredation of government property. Well, how could you plead not guilty? There's a video of you destroying it. Honestly, if someone did this and I was a judge, I would say, yeah, don't do that anymore. Pay a fine and get the fuck out of here. And then the natural resources officer, they would be so pissed off, they'd probably put a hit out on the judge or kill the judge himself. The incident happened in April. It says causing damage in excess of $1,000. They did it on a cliff near some trail. I don't know how that's $1,000 worth of damage. It's a fucking rock. The attorney representing the guys who did it said there were no signs posted saying that it's strictly prohibited to push the rocks. Well, that actually makes sense. I mean, that's a valid argument. If you think about it, it's a rock. Mr. Cosper did not have any knowledge that pushing a boulder was unlawful until the U.S. Marshal showed up at his house 4 months later. Another attorney said the justice system presumes that all accused of a crime are presumed innocent unless proven otherwise in a court of law. There is a jury trial set for this. The defendants could face up to 10 years in prison if convicted. All right, come on now. This is ridiculous. Park rangers sought the public's help in April identifying the suspects in the incident, which was captured on video. Yeah, I get it. The rocks, it takes a lot of time to make them, 140 million years. But does that mean we lock these people up? These are criminals now. They're locked up because a fucking rock got pushed off. I think that's kind of ridiculous, don't you? Chris says, I bet you there's signs at the entrance. Well, what if there isn't? Then what? David in Hudsonville says we shouldn't need a sign for common sense things. Okay, so now we're going to lock people over because they tip a rock over. Or lock people up because they push some rock over. Oh, no. Kenny says, what are you in for? 3rd-degree murder. I pushed over a rock. I don't know, man. This seems a little rough to me, in my opinion. A little too much. All right. Today, coming up at 2 p.m., is another edition of Who Are These Broadcasters? Christian Blatt and myself are doing another podcast. So basically, this podcast ends. The Patreon goes off like it normally does. And then at 2 p.m., for about an hour and 15 minutes, Christian and I, Who Are These Broadcasters? You can find this on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. You go to youtube.com and then search Who Are These Broadcasters? I'm sorry, Who Are These Podcasts? It's on the Who Are These Podcasts channel on YouTube. Our show, Who Are These Broadcasters? It's part of the umbrella of the Who Are These Podcasts shows. We're very lucky. We've been at it for just north of a year, and it's a lot of fun. We do it once a week. All right. Amazingly, though, today is one of those days where I am remarkably lean on content. So I don't like to have a short show. But other than me just sitting here BSing, it's going to be a short show. we will do the asshole of the day in moments. If you have any suggestions, please leave them. Keep in mind that I want you to buy now and refinance later. Get into your home. Buy a home. Get pre-approved today from anywhere in the U.S. with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505. Mario can help you get into your loan. That's what he did for me. That's what he did for Jackie and Justin. That's what he did for my refi. Got me into that 15-year loan at 2.65 just before COVID. Rates are about to fall, so reach out and get the ball rolling today. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. NMLS number 3035. Tech support on this show is brought to you by Blue Frost IT. If you have any tech issues, reach out to Blue Frost IT. They will help you. 616-200-8550. They are the best in West Michigan for a reason. Thank you so much to them. And finally, if you notice, a lot of the times in the show, I'm talking about various services that I want you to engage with if you need a mortgage or perhaps your estate planning. Life insurance is another thing. It's one of those things you don't really think about unless if somebody like me tells you about it. Consider getting a life insurance policy for you and yours. The peace of mind knowing that your family is taken care of because you've purchased a life insurance policy. That is what my man Frank Fuss is all about. Reach out to him. Buyinsurancehere.com today. Fill out the form. Indicate that you heard about him from me, and Frank will handle the rest. Doesn't cost you anything for him to get you into an insurance policy. Frank's services are always free. As a licensed independent insurance agent / broker, he's paid by the best insurance companies known to man. Yesterday's asshole of the day was Jen's asshole parents. Who is today's asshole of the day? Do you have any suggestions for me? David says the asshole of the day is the guy who pushed the rocks over. Chris says there's published rules for national parks. 10 years ago is not the appropriate, or 10 years punishment is not the appropriate punishment. I don't know. Maybe on this trail, it was the first trail they'd been on. There was no sign there. Don't push the rocks over. Maybe they didn't see it. In my opinion, slim pickings on asshole of the day. I don't know if I can make the NFK the asshole of the day. That might be a little harsh. Let's see here. Your asshole of the day is brought to you by TC Paintball. National Parks Rangers are your assholes of the day. If I was a National Park Ranger and I saw somebody push those rocks over, I'd say, hey, knock it off. And that's the end of it. Maureen throws in a nomination for COVID. She's still struggling with it. I'm sorry to hear that. That is my time on the show. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you on Patreon. Till then, have a good one, folks, and bye-bye.